Go for this side?
Whatever side you want. Whatever side's easier for you. I usually go from that side just because I'm right-handed and it makes sense. Yeah, and with two people, you can kind of get it set up right from the start, right?
Let's try it.
So the heat guns, there's two heat guns around here. You guys got your squeegees, blades, all that stuff. Yeah.
Sure? Yo, hold one of the vertical.
So what I recommend is if there's gonna be five of you, right? So get the center glassed out and then take a side each. Does that feel very sticky to you right off the bat, or no? It's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Okay. I just wanted your opinion on it. That's all. So.
Shall we start like this?
Yeah, you're gonna want to start something similar to that, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys fix up the right side there, the driver's side, and then you guys can take a side each. Because the center's super easy, right? It's so flat.
Yeah.
It's mainly getting around these sides. So remember, take your time when it comes to cutting, and get it glassed out together. And
Oh, need it? And you go for vertical. Huh? Oh, yeah.
yep. Depending on the temperature of the film, sometimes you can go all the way around with it. Depending on the style of the bumper as well, you can sometimes. But it's good to take a break here, anyways, and get it into that recess in the fog light area in the bottom, and then. So we know if we overstretch the film, it changes color, right? You guys did a good job last time where it didn't do that. If you heat it too much right where it's touching, so right where you've already laid it down, if you heat it too much there, that's when you'll see the color change. So, but you're doing well with the heat, so. Good. There you go. Yeah, you can use your finger. It's all probably easier even. Yeah. So the whole trick right here is to not pull it out of there now, right?
Yeah.
So. Good. If you watch this, yeah, if you watch this line right here,
Yeah.
look, see, if you push this down, that makes things a little bit easier. You can bridge this a little bit now. You can heat it and kind of stretch it in. It's not that deep of a recess, right?
Yeah.
So that's just fine. And you might heat it right now, and it might be difficult to squeegee this because it's a little bit sharp, but it shouldn't be too bad. If you just reposition the vinyl a little bit, heat it up, see what happens. You can always fix it. It's not a big deal. You might have to heat it a little bit more. Yeah, so if it's gonna do that, then we're gonna have to pull it back a little bit. The reason why that happens is the line was a little bit too sharp, that's all. So you had fingering, so heat it now. Yep. Yeah, and then kind of draw the film down, there you go. And hold the film down a little bit.
Yeah, like this.
Yep, see now it's more flat. Then it's where you want to squeegee it. There you go.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Just so you guys got this section done here. You'll have to come, obviously, past all the wrinkles, right? So, there you go. It's probably good. Pull out, yeah, there you go. So Jackson, when you're pulling up and down, you're controlling when you put it down. All he's doing is pulling out, and you don't want to, when you're doing, Arsh, when you're pulling out, you don't want to pull, you don't want to come down too soon before he's ready to. You know what I mean? So keep an eye on the way he's pulling and watch the wrinkles come out, and then you can kind of come down slowly with him. That'll help. That'll help. You guys probably could have finished that off in one shot, but it got a little bunched up in the end there. It's fine. You can still reposition it again. So you just need to pull out a little bit more in your direction when she's pulling vertically. You need to pull a little bit more horizontally. And maybe it needed a little more heat. I don't know. That's kind of up to you guys to decide that. But there you go. There you go. So it comes out a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I don't see any change in the color, which is good. So everyone's doing well on both their sides. So because you stretch down now, what you want to do before you trim it, you're gonna pull it back up to this line and you're gonna heat it, and then you're gonna let it shrink, and then you're gonna tuck it in, and then you can cut everything afterwards. That's gonna make sure that, because when you stretched it, it doesn't have any pullback. Because if you just tuck it in right now, this point right here is stretched. All right. So if we just bring it back a little bit, and then up to this line, and then shrink it, then you tuck it in, then it's not stretched anymore. Then it can't pull back. It can pull back, sure, if you stretched it here, but as long as this edge is relaxed, you should be fine. It should lock in really nicely. Good. Watch your right hand when you're pulling across. You're going stronger with your top hand than your bottom hand. So that's the main problem, is because your line of sight is up here, and you're able to watch here more than here. So if you can actually watch here and focus on pulling over a little bit more around here, this should come around also.
Okay.
All right. So the mirrors were a bit challenging to not change the color because they're so small, right? So when you go with a lot of stretch over a small area, then you need to do it kind of in one shot, while the bumper gives you some forgiveness. Yeah, perfect. It's better. So you put more across with your right hand, right? Yeah. Don't forget when you're squeegeing, to lift it. It's always better to just pop it up a little bit and let the air come out. Because with any film, as you're pulling it across, you're adding a lot of tension on this line. It's gonna lock in with any film. It's gonna lock all the air in. Time-wise is looking pretty good. You're at 13 minutes so far, and you guys are almost... I'd say on my own it takes me 45 minutes to an hour to do it, so... There you go. Yeah, so watch your when you're pulling, you can pull a little bit more in here also, and that'll help. Right?
One more.
Okay. Yep, go ahead. Sorry, I'm standing on it.
What's this?
Yeah, heat more in around here in the bottom. The top's pretty good. You can add a little bit there afterwards, but you're gonna want to heat a little bit more in around the bottom here.
What do you guys put?
And then focus with your lower hand when you pull. There you go. It's better. There you go. Yeah. See how she grabbed the middle? And that really helps that section there? Yeah. So you guys are ready to basically trim and do the fog light area over here?
You guys focus on
All right, Arsh, round 2 on the corner. What's that? Just take your time, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to.
So Peter, Paul, and man, I want you guys to stop for a second, and I want to show you their side over here, okay? So see your side here, how you have a lot of slack here? see their side here where they have a lot of tension running across?
Yeah.
So if this was painted white up top or whatever, it was paint matched, and you had to wrap the top of the bumper, which you do on a lot of cars,
Yeah.
you guys will be in more trouble over
Oh,
here
yeah.
because you were able to work it this way
Yeah.
for this section here,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't be able to do that if you had
Yeah,
to wrap
yeah.
this, right? While they would be fine over on their side. So I just want to show you the difference of the pull that they have over on this side, which is more where you want to be,
Yeah.
as opposed to your side. You can,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid when you know your bumper isn't wrapped up top here,
Yeah.
or sorry, isn't painted up top here, that
Yeah.
you can do it this way.
Yeah.
It does help. It makes things easier,
Yeah.
but this is generally the way you're going to be doing it mostly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So having that more glass right across here, so they have their lines running across, right? So all we gotta do is pull up, right?
Yeah.
And we're good.
Yeah. I think it's because we started stretching from here or so.
Yeah, you might maybe want it to come a little bit
Yeah,
more
yeah.
back a little bit. That's why I kind of like to start it
Yeah.
start heating it in the middle and start contouring it already right away. Yeah. But generally the front part of the bumper, the very center, is very flat.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes over the top, but you do need to start to curve it already in the beginning, so it does help. But yeah, that's fine. That works for this
Yeah.
bumper. I'm just telling you, in
Yeah.
most cases, you're going to want to do it that way. But go ahead and keep doing what you're doing, guys. We didn't mask this side? No, we didn't. So the issue with that is that what you're doing is you're bridging this gap and then you're trimming on it and it's gonna pull back. See, it's gonna pull back and show white. If you just pull this back even now, I mean, it's a little bit late because you cut, but even without the tape, you can pull it back a little bit and then to the line and then let me just go a little bit more, yeah, and then I'll grab my squeegee and then just lay it in, okay? Lay it in. And then you'll be able to trim with a little bit excess film in there and it should have full coverage. It just makes it easier having the tape there to pull it back. That's all. Because there will be cars where you do it like that, and
Yeah.
you can't take panels off all the time either, so. Yeah, so you're gonna want to cut a hole out for the fog light area and give yourself that release.